ॐ ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवती निष्ठिकी। Hare Krishna. Today we continue Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th of first chapter 17, punishment and reward of Kali. Shloka number 12 and 13 and 14. कः औरुष्यत तव पादान्
कः अवृच्छत तव पादान्
त्रीन् सौरभेय चतुःपद
त्रीन् सौरभेय चतुःपद
मा भुवन् त्वादृशा राष्ट्रे
मा भूवन् त्वादृशा राष्ट्रे
राज्ञां कृष्ण अणुवर्तिनाम्
राज्ञां कृष्णानुवर्तिनाम्
आख्यायि वृषभद्रं वः
आख्याहि वृषभद्रं वः
साधूनाम् अकृत आगसाम्
साधूनाम् अकृत आगसाम्
आत्मवैरूपी अपि अकर्तारम् आत्म एव
आत्मवैरूपी
अपि अकर्तारम्
आत्म एव अपि अकर्तारम्
पार्थानां कीर्तिदूषणम्
पार्थानां कीर्तिदूषणम्
वैरूप्यमपि जने अनागसि अगम युञ्जन्
जने अनागस्य अगम युञ्जन्
सर्वतः अस्य च मद्भयम्
सर्वतः अस्य च मद्भयम्
साधूनां भद्रम् एव स्यात्
साधूनां भद्रमेव स्यात्
असाधु दमने कृते
असाधु दमने कृते
कः अवृष्यत तव पादान्
कः अवृष्टत तव पादान्
त्रीन् सौरभे चतुःपद
त्रीन् सौरभेय चतुःपद
मा भुवन् त्वादृशा राष्ट्रे
मा भूवन् त्वादृशा राष्ट्रे
राज्ञां कृष्ण अणुवर्तिनाम्
राज्ञां कृष्ण अनुवर्तिनाम्
आख्यायि वृषभद्रं वः
आख्याहि वृषभद्रं वः
साधूनाम् अकृत आगसाम्
साधूनाम् अकृत आगसाम्
आत्मवैरूप्यकर्तारम्
आत्मवैरूप्यकर्तारम्
पार्थानां कीर्तिदूषणम्
पार्थानां कीर्तिदूषणम्
जने अनागसि अगम युञ्जन्
जने अनागसी अघम युञ्जन्
सर्वतः अस्य च मद्भयम्
सर्वतः अस्य च मद्भयम्
साधूनां भद्रम् एव स्यात्
साधूनां भद्रमेव स्यात्
असाधु दमने कृते
असाधु दमने कृते
कः अवृष्यत तव पादान् त्रीन् सौरभेय चतुष्पद महाभुवन त्वादृशाः राष्ट्रे राज्ञां कृष्णानुवर्तिनाम् आख्यायि वृषभद्रं वः साधूनाम् अकृत आगसाम् आत्मवैरूप्यकर्तारं पार्थानां कीर्तिदूषणम् जने अनागसीयगं युञ्जन् सर्वतस्य च मद्भयम् साधूनां भद्रम् एव स्यात् साधु दमने कृते। हरे कृष्ण।
कः अवृष्टत तव
Anyone who
पादान् स्त्रीन सौरभे चतुष्पद मा भूवन् त्वादृशा राष्ट्रे राज्ञां कृष्णानुवर्तिनाम् आख्याहि वृषभद्रं व साधूनाम् अकृत आगसाम् आत्मवैरूप्यकर्तारं पार्थानां कीर्तिदूषणम् जने अनागस्य अघं युञ्जन् सर्वतः अस्य च मद्भयम् साधूनां भद्रम् एव स्यात् असाधु दमने कृते। Anyone would like to read?
Yes,
Translation and
Mataji.
purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He, Maharaj Parikshit, repeatedly addressed and questioned the bull thus, O son of Surabhi, who has cut off your three legs in the state of the king, who are obedient to the laws of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. There is no one as unhappy as you. O bull, you are offenseless and thoroughly honest. Therefore, I wish all good to you. Please tell me of the perpetrator of these mutilations, which blackmail the reputation of the sons of Pṛthā. Whoever cause of offenseless living beings to suffer must fear me anywhere and everywhere in the world. By curbing dishonest miscreants, one automatically benefits the offenseless. Purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The kings or the executive heads of all the states must know the codes of Lord Krishna, generally Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and must act accordingly in order to fulfill the mission of human life, which is to make an end to all miseries of material condition. One who knows the codes of Lord Krishna can achieve this end without any difficulty. In the Bhagavad Gita, in its synopsis, we can understand the codes of Godhead, and in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the same codes are explained further. In a state where the codes of Krishna are followed, no one is unhappy. Where such codes are not followed, the first sign is that three legs of the representative of religion are cut off, and thereby all miseries follow. When Krishna was personally present, the codes of Krishna were being followed without question, but in his absence, such codes are presented in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam for the guidance of the blind person who happened to be at the hymn of all affairs. The reputation of the reign of Maharaj Ramchandra and that of the kings who followed in the footsteps of Maharaj Ramchandra, like the Pandavas and their descendants, are never to be forgotten because in their kingdom, offenseless and honest living beings were never in trouble. The bull and the cow are the symbols of the most offenseless living being because even the stool and urine of these animals are utilized to benefit human society. The descendants of the sons of Pṛthā, like Maharaj Parikshit, were afraid of losing their reputation. But in the modern days, the leaders are not even afraid of killing such offenseless animals. Herein lies the difference between the reign of those pious kings and the modern states ruled by irresponsible executive heads without knowledge of the courts of God. Om Ajnanatimirandasya
Hare Krishna.
Jnananjana
Hare Krishna,
Shalakaya
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Chakshurudmil. Sorry. Dishonest miscreant flourish because of cowardly and important executive heads of state. But when the executive heads are strong enough to curb all sorts of dishonest miscreant in uh, part of any part of the state, certainly they cannot flourish when the miscreants are punished in an exemplary manner. Automatically, all good fortune follows. As said before, it is the prime duty of the king or the executive head to give protection in all respect to the peaceful, offenseless citizens of the state. The devotees of the Lord are the nature peaceful and offenseless, and therefore it is the prime duty of the state to arrange to convert anyone to become a devotee of the Lord. Thus, automatically there will be peaceful, offenseless citizens. Then the only duty of the king will be to curb the dishonest miscreant that will bring about peace and harmony all over human society. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Tapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan सगणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांच नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण। We try to understand Canto first, chapter 17, punishment and reward of Kali, shloka number 12 to 14. In 12 number shloka, they describe about the that every executive of the head of the state know the courts of Lord according to the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and must accordingly order his his instruction to fulfill the mission of the human life. And where the codes of Krishna's code are followed, there is no one is unhappy. Then 13 shloka that describing about the um, he- uh, difference between the reign of those pious king and the modern state ruled by irresponsibility in responsibility uh, executive heads without knowledge of the code of gods. And in 14 shloka they describe about the duty of the king or main head of the member head of the state will be curb the dishonest miscreant, and if he do such, uh, it bring about the peace and harmony all over the society. All these point describing, Prabhuji will tell us in detail nicely. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhya kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So we are studying that particular part where now the secret of why the bull has lost his three legs is going to be unraveled very shortly in the coming episodes. As you all know, here the bull is there, and unfortunately, it is standing only on one leg. It is not having the other three legs. And we all know that bull is the son of Surabhi. Surabhi was the name of the cow that is there in the spiritual world, but then all the cows they are mentioned as Surabhi because they are descendants of the same Surabhi cow. So, Parikshit Maharaj is desirous of knowing कि why has such bad condition fallen on the bull. Now here we all need to remember that bull is the representations of Dharma, the religion. So Parikshit Maharaj, he wanted to understand that a state where the kings are obedient to the laws of Krishna, there can be no one happy. But here still the bull was unhappy. And he thought that he was obeying the laws of Krishna. The bull was offenseless, thoroughly honest. So ideally, all good should be happening to him, and Parikshit Maharaj wished good for him also. But still, something which was unexplainable was the mutilations which have been borne by the bull. So he was more interested in knowing the perpetrator because such an act was actually a black mark on the reputation of the kings. And here the kings was Parikshit Maharaj. who was a descendant of the sons of Pṛthā. So, if anyone causes offenseless living beings to suffer, they have to be punished. And Parikshit Maharaj was very strict about it. So he said that such persons must fear him anywhere and everywhere in the world. But still something like this has happened. And then he used the golden directive. By curbing dishonest miscreants, one automatically benefits the offenseless. Now these four legs of Dharma, they are truthfulness, compassion, austerity, and purity. We have seen this in the past, TCAP. So truthfulness or Satya, so honesty and adherence to the truth. Compassion, Daya, that is kindness and empathy towards others. Austerity, Tapaha, self-discipline and detachment from worldly desires. And purity, Shaucha, cleanliness and spiritual purity. Now, as we see the four yugas, as the yuga cycle traverses, slowly and steadily, each of the four pillars gets affected. Like Satya Yuga was a golden age where Dharma has its peak, and so all four legs are firmly planted. In Treta Yuga, there is a decline in austerity, and so one leg is lost. In Dwapar Yuga, purity is also declining, and so two legs are lost. And in Kali Yuga, now Dharma is there only on one leg, with only truthfulness remaining. So, it is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada that the kings or the executive heads, they should always be knowing what are the codes of Krishna. And we must act accordingly in order so that they can fulfill the mission of human life, which is to make an end to all miseries of material conditions. So, it is important that we know the codes of Krishna, because then only we can achieve the objective of closing the miseries of material condition, and that can be done very easily. So where do we get these quotes? Prabhupada ji explains in Bhagavad Gita. In a synopsis we can understand the quotes, and in Srimad Bhagavatam the quotes are explained further. Regarding this, we need to understand that while Bhagavad Gita is the preparatory knowledge, our graduation, Srimad Bhagavatam is the post graduation. So both are very revered, but then the themes, purpose, and structures are different. Bhagavad Gita, while it is a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, it addresses themes of like righteousness, duty, spiritual wisdom, so that we can overcome our dilemmas of material existence and understand the Guhyatam knowledge of doing our duty without any expectations and complete surrenderance to Krishna. Now, Srimad Bhagavatam is one of the 18 Puranas, where we have 12 cantos. Now, Bhagavad Gita, we have only 700 shlokas, but here there are over 18,000 shlokas. Because in Bhagavatam, we are seeing the life and the incarnations of Krishna, stories of the other sages, devotees, which ultimately extol devotion to Krishna. So, while Bhagavad Gita has the main theme of making us understand Bhakti Yoga, it is very concise but philosophical. And Bhagavatam, the primary theme is devotional love for God, particularly Krishna. So there are various stories, teachings, so that the path of devotion and love There can be emphasis on the devotion to God, which is the highest spiritual path. So Bhagavad Gita focuses on the initial part, and Bhagavatam gives us the deeper knowledge. And both complementary approaches to spiritual growth. And that is why Srila Prabhupada made it a habit that while one can be done in the morning, the second has to be done in the evening in all temples across the world. And that is something which is being followed continuously, consistently. And when you get trained, then you know what Krishna wants. And in a state where what Krishna wants is followed, no one is unhappy. But wherever such codes are not followed, then the three legs of religion are cut off. And so all miseries follow. In the absence of Krishna, so that we understand what are these codes, everything is presented in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this can act as a guidance for the blind men who happen to be at the helm of all the affairs currently across nations and across various, what I'll say, institutes. And that is why study of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam is very, very important for everyone. It is mentioned that the reputation of Ramchandra, Lord Ram, Ram Rajya, that we always talk about, is such great that everyone in his kingdom was always happy. And so everyone else who became a king tried to follow in the footsteps of Lord Ram. Even the Pandavas and their descendants, they also ensured that they followed the religion. And that is why no persons who were honest, who were offenseless, were ever in trouble of any kind. Now, when we talk about being offenseless, being honest, the bull and the cow, they are the representations, the symbols of most offenseless living beings. Now, why they are called most offenseless? Because even their stool and urine is utilized to benefit human society. The other day we were discussing about, just like we have allopathy, homeopathy, Unani, similarly we have cowpathy nowadays, wherein the cow urine, the cow dung, its importance is being studied and applied for the cure of the material ailments of the living beings. And that is why they are most offenseless. That is why they are most honest. Maharaj Parikshit, who was a descendant of King Pṛthā, or even the Pandavas, they knew that their reputation was in the well-being of their citizens. And they were always afraid of losing their reputations if the citizens were to be unhappy. Prabhupada contrasts this with what we see in the modern days, where leaders are not afraid of killing offenseless animals. In fact, they give licenses to slaughterhouses. And that is the prime difference between the reign of the pious kings and the modern states. Because those in the modern state are not having the knowledge of the courts of God. They allow the dishonest miscreants to flourish because of their own cowardly, impotent situation. However, it is mentioned that if the executive heads were to be strong, then they would be able to curb all sorts of dishonest miscreants in any part of the state. And then no dishonest miscreants can flourish anywhere across the globe. And that will ensure that everyone is happy. If there is exemplary punishment which is given to those who make mistakes, automatically there is fear instilled in the mind of others, and they try to avoid similar activities. And this ensures that all good fortune follows. Hence, it is the prime duty of the executive head to give protection in all respects to peaceful, offenseless citizens of the state. And even animals, even plants, they are citizens. And that is why ensuring that the forests are protected, the animals are protected, is a duty of a good king. The Vaishnavas, who are the devotees of Lord Krishna, by nature they are very peaceful, they are offenseless. And so it is the duty of the state to arrange to make everyone a devotee of Krishna. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has ordered us, Chare Dekhatarika Krishna Upadesh. And it is mentioned, Yatha Raja Tatha Praja. So the king or the rulers need to become devotees and extol everyone else to become devotees. And when this state is achieved, automatically there will be peace. Automatically you will have only offenseless citizens everywhere. So Prabhupada ends by stating that the only duty of the king is to curb the dishonest miscreants, so there will be peace and harmony all over human society. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.